Brahmacharyena tapasa Raja Rashtram Virakshati. That was the piece of the Atharvaveda mantra we are discussing. So Brahmacharya we discussed sufficiently. Now Raja is the leader, the king, the one who leads the society, takes care of the society, and he is elected by the people. Vedas envisage democracy. Vedas speak of democracy, people choosing their leader, and the leader in turn choosing his cabinet, his ministers, and they take care of the society. So that's the concept what you have got in the Vedas, perfect democracy. Now that Raja, the one who is at the helm of affairs, the topmost person, will be able to protect the society in a very, very wonderful way, in a very, very exemplary way, in a special way. Virakshati, provided. Condition is there. What is that condition? How he has to be personally. If he's not a worthy person, he cannot take care of the society. He'll be exploiting the society. He'll be prone to corruption. But if he is Brahmacharya tapasa, is a brahmachari and is a tapasvi, yes, the whole society is safe in his hands. The whole society progresses. Even the last person in the society will benefit by whatever the king does. That's what they say in Hindi as Aam Aadmi. Aam Aadmi is the last person. So that last person is benefited. What is this? Brahmacharya and tapasa. Brahmacharya we have discussed sufficiently. Here in this context it means one who is not after sensual pleasures. One who is not a slave to his sensual pleasures, sensual requirements. One has control over his sharira, indriya, manas is a brahmachari. One who is after knowledge. One has an open mind to get new things. Yes, that person is called as a brahmachari. So the leader should have an open mind. So the leader has an open mind. When thoughts come, when ideas come from different quarters of the society, he should be alert enough, he should be sensitive enough to grasp it. Then only we can say that he can lead better. Reactions will be coming. Different people from different corners of the society will be reacting to whatever decisions he take. They'll be commenting on that. The leader should be alert enough, should be sensitive enough to listen to those comments, criticisms, suggestions, opinions, and he should be continuously altering whenever necessary the rules and regulations and the methods to rule the society, to take it towards progress. Has to be proactive. If the person is not proactive, then things will not happen. And in democracy, the opinion and suggestions of the people is of utmost value. So you should have an open mind for accepting new things, accepting knowledge, accepting experience, and should be capable of analyzing criticisms and suggestions. That is one part of it, Brahmacharya. And he by himself should be a role model to other people. The personal life of people, the family life of people, the social life of people, all those things will fall down when the persons involved are not having control on their own sense organs. Sense organs pull us down. They pull us out. If you lose control over them, they will take us to any place and we will be prone to accidents. This metaphor is given in different places. These Indriyas are like horses of a chariot. That we have seen, that metaphor we have seen. Chariot. And the soul is the person who travels in the chariot. And the one which connects the charioteer and the chariot is the reins, and that is the Indriya Manas. So it should be under the control of the charioteer who runs the chariot. Then he can drive, he can direct the horses to any direction, any goal he wants. If the reins are not under his control, if the manas is not under his control, then the chariot will go anywhere. No goal, nothing. It will just run hither and thither, and finally the charioteer will be lost. It will be affected by an accident. That metaphor is given. The same thing happens here also. But here in case of a Raja, it's not he only is involved in the trouble. He involves all those who are following him also into trouble. It's very dangerous. The problem is that. So he has to be a brahmachari, that is, one who has got control over his sense organs. He cannot be a prey, a subject to his sense organs and its wants. It doesn't mean that he should not enjoy life. It's not that he should not use his sense organs for his pleasures. He can, but he should be under control. That control is the factor which is very important. Sense organs are there. We have to use them. But the sense organs should not be left scot-free. It should be completely under the control of the Atman. If it's under the control of the Atma, yes, things are fine. There is no problem at all. That is brahmacharya. Now we've been seeing that the so-called leaders of the present day, who lead the society, who lead the government, who declare themselves as godmen, who declare themselves as spiritual leaders, most of them, they are involved in scams. Most of them. They themselves are not correct. They themselves are involved in corruption. They are involved in underhand dealings. They are involved in all dirty places, including sexual scandals. How can they lead the society when they themselves are not able to lead their own sense organs? So this brahmacharya plays a very, very vital role in the life of the leader and also in the life of the subjects who follow the leader. It becomes very important. His character should be clean. His character should be clean. It cannot be blemished. Only a person whose character is good will gain the belief of the followers and will be in a position to guide them properly on the right track. If he himself is a slave of his own sense organs, for the sake of pleasing his sense organs, he will do anything, and that will be detrimental to him and as well as all the subjects. It has happened in history. I have seen many places. The leaders who are slaves to their own sense organs, their own sensual pleasures, have sacrificed the well-being and welfare of the society. I have seen. And I have also seen in society, such people are dethroned. People revolt against them and say, you are unfit to be there, get out. So both we have seen. Here the question is virakshati, a very good and fantastic protection to society, to the subjects is possible only when the leader is a brahmachari. First he should have control over his own self. Then he can control the society, the country, the nation, the world, whatever it is. So an unblemished character is what we call it as brahmachari. An open mind to receive things and being proactive also is called as brahmacharya. Now just imagine if you have a ruler like that, a leader like that. It's wonderful. He is fine, his guidelines are fine, and he is open for suggestions and criticisms. He takes it, analyzes it, and improves every moment his style of ruling. Of course, he is assisted by his own cabinet, his own group of ministers. That's fine. So it goes without saying that not only the leader, the whole cabinet also should be like that. Every person involved in ruling should be of that character. So here what is important for a ruler is character. What is important for a ruler is a very good personality, a dependable personality. All other things are secondary. Because it is a character and the personality which influences the followers, which motivates the followers. Tapasa. Next one is tapasa. Tapas. Generally, we understand tapas as penance, going to some remote place, sitting erect, closing our eyes, and doing pranayama. And we say it's called as tapas. It's a very, very vague definition of tapas. The meaning of tapas is tapovai dvandva sahanam. That's how they define it. Tapovai dvandva sahanam. Tapas is tolerating the dualities. I got lot many dualities in life. Somebody blames us, somebody praises us, somebody helps us, somebody doesn't help us. I got profits, I got losses, I got good times, I got bad times. I got a condition of health, a condition of ill health. See? There are so many dualities in life like this. Now a person who can tolerate these two different conditions, opposite conditions equally, is said to be performing tapas. Kashta sahishnuta, tolerating the tough times. It's possible only when a person is strong enough. Not only physically, but also mentally and spiritually. A person who is strong physically, mentally and spiritually alone can perform this tapas. Dvandva sahana. Sahana is tolerance. Can bear it. As for a leader, life is not easy. It's a tough path because he has to take care of one's own self and also the whole society who depend on him. The whole world, the whole nation, which depend on him. So his responsibility is very, very serious. Gambhira is very serious. So he has to be very careful at every step. And at the same time, he cannot lose his temper. He cannot behave whimsically. Because every action of the leader will have an impact on himself as well as the whole society. So he should always be alert, should always have the welfare of the whole society at his focus. He has to behave in a controlled way. He has to bear ups and downs. Even if personally he is hurt, he has to bear it and cannot show it. Cannot give the repercussion of it to the society. He has to tolerate. He should be a shock absorber. He has to bear it. He has to tolerate it. And continue doing good for the society. What is that state called as? That is called as tapas. That itself is called as penance. Penance is tolerance. Society is not uniform. We have got a heterogeneous structure in the society. Some people will appreciate what the leader does. Some people are not able to visualize and they may not appreciate. As a leader, as a Raja, should be able to understand both. Just because somebody has praised him, he cannot give them rewards. At the same time, because a person has just commented and criticized, he cannot punish them. He should take both equally and see what is the best out of both. Maybe the prize, maybe the blame, maybe the criticism. And move. He should be very, very balanced. He should be very, very balanced. He cannot lose his balance. Because losing the balance even by a small amount will amount to disturbance in the society. So he should be very, very balanced. Because he wields what is called as danda. Danda is another very important thing which is with the leader. Danda is a system of giving rewards and punishing. It's a very, very critical and vital role played by a Raja. And this danda has to be very sensitive and perfect and balanced. If the rewards are high, people will do anything to get the rewards because the reward is very high. If the reward is less, they are not motivated to do good things. You see? Even the system of rewarding has to be balanced. It can't be high, it can't be low. What about punishment? Same thing. If the punishment is very high, very tough, then the people will call that Raja as a tyrant. They will not love him. At the same time, if the punishment is not up to the mark and is reasonable and less than that, then the crime rate will not come down because, okay, it's a small punishment, you'll take it and be happy. It's a very, very difficult thing. So punishments also have to be balanced. Neither too tough or too loose. Sufficient enough to run the society on an ethical way, on the right path. To that extent has to be the punishment. Now that balancing point is a very, very tough one. So whether we say rewards, whether we say punishment, or the sum of it both, what we call it as danda, has to be very, very sensitive and clear. And only a person can wield such a danda provided he is a tapasvi. Unless he is a tapasvi, he cannot understand these things. A tapasvi can tolerate, can identify, can maintain the balance in this danda. And danda is a special power placed in the hands of the Rajan. The Raja, the king, the leader, the ruler. So ultimately, it reduces to the society will be protected well, the society will be guided well under the Raja who is a brahmachari and who is also a tapasvi. I make it very clear again, if I say brahmachari doesn't mean that he has to be unmarried. No. Marriage and brahmacharya has got nothing to do. They are not related. Brahmacharya is love for knowledge. Brahmacharya is having control over the sense organs. That's all. Even after marriage, even after marrying, even being a householder, the person can still be, after knowledge, can still have his sense organs under control. So marriage and brahmacharya are not at all linked. That's a wrong connection what people have been giving. So a leader who is a brahmachari, a leader who is a tapasvi can protect the society in a special way, in a wonderful way. And society is well protected under his eyes. Brahmacharya tapasa, Raja, Rashtram, Virakshati. He just doesn't do Rakshati, but he is Virakshati in a special way, in an exemplary way. Yes, he can protect the society and take the process, whole society in the path of progress. Next one. Brahmacharyena tapasa Brahmacharyena tapasa deva mrutyum apaghanata. Deva mrutyum apaghanata. Mrutyum apaghanata. Brahmacharyena tapasa deva mrutyum apaghanata. Atharva 11:5-19. 11:5-19. Brahmacharyena tapasa deva mrutyum apaghanata. Brahmacharyena tapasa, we have discussed the same thing. There's no change in that. Brahmacharyena tapasa. Mrityum apaghanata is another benefit to any person who follows this. So this Brahmacharyena tapasa we discussed in the context of the king, the leader. A same Brahmacharyena tapasa we are discussing in general. Deva is a knowledgeable person, a scholar, a noble person. And whom we call noble? Who practices Brahmacharya and tapas. If a person is not practicing Brahmacharya or tapas, we don't call him Deva, we don't call him a noble person, a Santa, a seer. A seer too should have, a noble person too should have these qualities, Brahmacharya and tapas. It's an integral part of a person being a seer, being a good person. Now what happens? A person who is practicing Brahmacharya and is into tapas, he is capable of mrityum apaghanata. He is able to overcome death. Mrityum apaghanata. He is able to overcome death. Now comes the question, can anybody overcome death? No. Everyone who is born has to die one day or the other. And how do you understand this statement? Mrityum apaghanata. They are able to win over death. Now the whole secret of it is not overcoming death, but it's overcoming the fear of death. No one can overcome death. Once born, you have to die. If not today, tomorrow. If not tomorrow, day after tomorrow. We are prone to die. We are sure to die, 100%. We are certain to die. So mrityum apaghanata can be understood as overcoming the fear of death. This we have discussed several times. There is nothing to fear death. Nothing. A union, we call it as birth. A disassociation, we call it as death. Over. It's the coming together of the soul and the Sharira Indriya Manas is birth. A special exclusive tool for one soul. The tool is a Sharira Indriya Manas. To get its own tool to function, you call it as birth. So it starts from a zygote. And then on, it grows and grows and takes the form of a full-fledged Sharira Indriya Manas, which it can use, which the soul can use. It could be human, it could be other than human, whatever it is. So getting a tool for the soul getting a tool for its functioning, we call it as birth. And this tool is made up of material things, jada, sat. Now as you go on using this, it is subject to wear and tear. It cannot function throughout. It cannot function forever. Of course, it works well, but over a period, it is subject to wear and tear, and one day it cannot be used. So this whole says, okay, this tool has been used to the maximum extent. Further, I cannot use it, and it throws out the tool and gets away, and that we call it as death. The separation between the tool and the operator, the separation between the soul and the Sharira Indriya Manas is what is called death. Now what is lost here? Nothing is lost. It's just a separation. They were together, now they depart. Over. And the depart will come one day or the other. It's inevitable, unavoidable. One day the two get separated. It's just a separation. There is no loss. Atma is not lost. It continues its journey. The Sharir Indra Manas is not lost. It gets back and converted to the Panchabhutas and takes different forms. The basic material of Panchabhuta is there. Nothing is lost. Then what is there to fear death? What is there to cry in that condition? Nothing. Oh, we have lost a tool. Fine, you will get another one. Why do you worry? This tool is gone. Fine, it will go one day. What next? I get another tool. Will that be a human tool or anything else? That depends how well you have led the human life. That depends on that. If the human life given to you, if you have utilized it in the right way, in the best way possible, without abusing it, without misusing it, yes, you are sure to get the same tool again, a better tool even. So what is there to fear? What is there to dread? Nothing, nothing. One tool is gone, we get another better tool. Now it is fearful only to those who are not sure of a better tool in the next life. That's their problem. Because they would not have led this present human life properly. Problem is with them. They fear and dread, okay, now I have got a human life. Now next, will I get a human life? Now the doubt comes to them because they have not properly used this human life. They have misused and abused. They have behaved like animals in the form of human beings. Now they are fearful. They cannot overcome that fear. Oh, next time I may become a creature other than a human being. What will I do? Now that's a problem. Number one. Then another problem is people feel that the relationships, what they have established, what they are hooked upon during this life is permanent. That's another problem for them. It's not permanent. These hooks, whatever I got, these relationships, whatever I got, they are all definitely coming to an end. And a new set of relationships will form in the next birth. New father, new mother, new brother, new sister, new environment, everything new. It will have nothing to do with the present father-mother relationships, friends, environment. It's totally different. No, it is something that will happen, which we cannot avoid. We have to accept it. Now, a person, Deva, how will they take it? Brahmacharya, that is, they are knowledgeable, they study, they learn. Tapas, they tolerate and they accept what is truth. How they feel. They say, okay, the relationships, whatever I have got now, as father, mother, brother, this and that, it's all temporary. One day it's going to end. So there is no meaning in crying over that relationship. So what best I can do is keep those relationships the best way possible. Make the relationships enjoyable. Make the relationships tolerable to us and our relationship with others, make it tolerable to them also. Have the relationships in its best way possible. Enjoy those relationships when it is there. Once it's gone, it's gone. Okay. We are again into another set of relationships. That let us see. Worrying about it now is of no value. It's of no use. Whatever relationships we have got now, we'll maintain it, we will enjoy it, make it enjoyable to us, to others. So this is a practical view towards the relationships what we have, which is going to end one day. That's the best way. If we disturb these relationships, if we confuse these relationships, if we create problems in these relationships, we are not able to enjoy these relationships in this life, and we are not sure of the same relationships in the next life. That is human relationships. We may not have. Because we would have abused and misused these relationships. Be clear, be frank, love every creature around you, share your love, share their pains and pleasures, and the relationships what you have in this life will all be very, very good and comfortable, pleasing, soothing, tolerable, knowledgeable. That's the best way we can do. That's the best way we can utilize this human life. Right? So one day death comes. Say hello, go with it. Over. Mrityum apaghanata. That's what it means. The fear of death is overcome. We know one day it comes. Every day we are closer to death. Whether we want it or not, whether we know it or not, whether we like it or not. Assuming the human life is 100 years, if I'm 50, I'm closer to death by 50 years. If I'm 60, I'm closer to it by 40 years. 80, closer to it by 20 years. That's how it happens. That's life. You should realize the facts and truths. And those who realize the facts and truths only are called as Deva. They have visualized, they have realized the facts, and they accept it. And there is no other way than accepting it. You have to accept. But accepting the forcible is different, accepting with vision is different. If I myself accept it as facts and truth, yes, it's comfortable. If somebody forces me to accept, yes, we have got problems. That stress will be there. So better we ourselves realize it and accept it and be happy. That is Deva. Deva is that person. And how we can do it? With brahmacharya and tapas. He is not afraid of difficulties. He is not afraid of ups and downs. He says, okay, that's part of life. In life, these things have to happen. Fine, I accept it. I tide over. It's an up. If it's a down, I tolerate it. Again, it will get itself converted into an up. That's life. Happiness or unhappiness in life, both of them are not permanent. Happiness also has an end. Unhappiness too has an end. The period may be slightly different, but they alternate. One Subhashita says, Chakravat parivartante sukhani cha dukkhani cha. Chakravat, it's like a wheel. The point which is at the top, when the wheel is running, will after some time comes down. It will be the lowest point. The wheel turns, the lowest point becomes the highest point. If you consider Sukha as the highest point, Dukkha as the lowest point, they keep alternating. And the wheel runs. Chakravat parivartante. And what is said in the Vedas, the root of this Subhashita, it says, Ashmanvati riyate. This whole life is like a flowing river, and in the river we have got boulders and stones, rocks. That's fine, that is life. To understand life as it is, to accept it as it is, and to flow accordingly is the best thing what we can do. And he is called as a Deva. And to do it, what they need? The right knowledge and tolerance. What is that? Brahmacharya and tapas. So when you understand the realities of life, accept them, and move in tune with them, absolutely there is no reason or cause for fearing death. Absolutely no scope for fearing for death. It comes, we take it in the stride and move on to the next life. So when death comes, what's your reaction? Tasmai yamaya namostu mrutyave. This is one of the Veda mantra. Namostu mrutyave. Oh, hello, how are you? Prostrations to you, death. No fear at all. And we also say, this is not the first time we are meeting. It's not my first life, this is not my last life. I have passed so many lives earlier. And every time, who is the cause for shifting me from one framework to another framework? That was you, death. Yamo mahyam punaritva dadati. Yama is Satchidananda. So has made this setup in such a way that punaritva dadati. You, death, is giving me death again and again. It's not the first time I'm subject to death. I'm subject to death again and again. Fine. You are my good old friend. And whenever you come, this old dilapidated Sharirindra Manas will fall off, and I get a fresh new Sharirindra Manas for continuing my spiritual progress. You are the cause of it. When you come only, it happens. So I have come now. Fine, hello, let us go together. You see, this is the way we have to deal with death and enjoy death. No fear at all. It's just accepting the fact and moving with the rules and regulations of Satchidananda and move with time. So practical, so practical. So when a person is so practical and realizes the facts, then Mrityum Apagnata is an easy task. Okay, death comes, you accept it. Fine. No fear of death. So our concentration will be to make the life purposeful until we meet death. The focus is different. We never worry about it. We are not in a hurry to die. We are not inviting death. It comes one day. My Guruji, Pandit Sudhakara Sharma, he always speaks about that. He says, death is a shameless guest. Death is a shameless guest. Whether you invite it or not, it will come one day. Why do you go after it? Leave it. It will come one day. Even if you say don't come, it will come. One day. So don't worry about it. Concentrate on the life, the present, what is there on your hands. Do the best what you can in the very moment of your life. Do the best what you can. That's yajna. Yajna is doing the things in the best way. Perform yajna every moment of your life. Every moment when you breathe, over. Death, it will come one day. Don't worry about it. Don't fear about it. It will come, it will go. Even if I say don't go, will it leave me? Definitely not. It will forcibly take me out. So be ready for that. Don't invite it. Don't worry about it. Concentrate on the present life. That's the best way of dealing with life, and that's the best way of understanding death. Now all this a Deva can do, a person who is knowledgeable, who is a scholar, who is noble can do, and he does it with the help of his brahmacharya and tapas. Brahmacharyena tapasa Deva mrityum apaghanata. They never fear death. We have seen great seers just accepting death with a smile. They are not at all worried. Oh God, you have given me this life. I have utilized it. I have used this life to the best extent possible. Now is the time for me to go. Bye. There you go. Over. It's such a sportive spirit they accept it. It's such a sportive spirit they just shut down this Sharirindra Manas and go on in their journey. We have seen such examples. Many, many people, not one or two. And they all have been, or they all should have been recognized as Deva. Deva. It's only those who are not Deva, ignorant. Yes, they fear for death. They cry for death. And in the fear of death, they die every moment. One Hindi saying is there. It says, "Marne wala ek hi bar marta hai." Marne wala ek hi bar marta hai. Bas, over. He dies only once. Dharne wala kadam kadam par marta jata hai. He will not die once. He will die at every step. Because he is डरने वाला, मरने वाला नहीं वो. डरने वाला कदम कदम पर मरता जाता है. So Deva is मरने वाला. He dies just once. And until death comes, he is very happy, he does his jobs, he understands life and lives life the best way possible. वो है मरने वाला. डरने वाला misses the focus, and every moment he fears death, and in that fear he makes every moment of his life miserable. And making every moment of miserable is kadam kadam par marta jata hai. It's as good as death. Be happy, don't fear. It will come one day, we will take it. Till such time, make the best use of it. Never fear. In spite of discussing these things so much, in spite of remembering these things so much, the fear of death will not go off easily. But one thing is certain, if you remember this again and again and again, our fear of death will definitely come down. Definitely come down. We can experience it. We can measure it. Definitely it will happen. Just to give you my own example, not to boast about myself, anybody will have it. The fear of death, what I had before 30 years. 30 years ago, I was afraid of death, say, to a certain extent. Now, after 30 years, after studying all these things and thinking about it again and again, now my fear of death definitely has come down. Still, I'm afraid of death. That's a different issue. But the volume of it, the pressure of it has come down a lot. What it was before 30 years, maybe today it is hardly 20 to 30% of it. It happens. The only thing is, we should be at it, we should think about it again and again. And we should take the support of brahmacharya and tapas. Yes, it will help us out. The fear of death can be warded off. If we continue the same process further, every moment, yes, it will come down further. And one day we will be happily, pleasingly accept death when it comes. We will not invite it. We will not. Our purpose is to postpone it. Our purpose is to defer it as far as possible. We will never invite it. Every moment of our life we want to live. We want another minute. We want another day extra so that we can do good things and work for the spiritual benefit. We'll do it. Jijivishe chatagam samaha. Jijivisha is the force to live for one more moment, one more day. That's how the Veda mantra says. Jijivishet. And how we are going to utilize that every moment? Kurvanneveha karmani, doing our duties, performing our duties. We perform our duties and we want more and more time. We want additional time. We want additional minute. We wish for it and do it. But however well we lead our life, however long we lead our life, one day it will come to an end. Accept it happily. Over. No fear at all. Because we have led the life purposefully and usefully, and our next life has to be, must be, better than what life we have got now. Should we get a better life? Should we get, suppose we are getting a better life, we are getting a improved life, progressive life, we should feel sad, we should feel happy. We are moving from a lower strata to a higher strata. Excellent. We never worry, we never fear. We are happy. Old house is gone, we are getting a new house. Old clothes are gone, we are getting new clothes. Old environment is gone and we are getting a better environment. Excellent. We are happy. We are more than happy. But for that sake, we will not invite death, but we will accept it when it comes. Brahmacharya tapasa deva mrutyam apaghnata. So you all should become deva. It's possible, it's not impossible. It's possible. Only thing is we have to be at it throughout. Next one. Brahmacharyena kanya. Brahmacharyena kanya. Ivanam vindate patim. Ivanam vindate patim. Brahmacharyena kanya. Ivanam vindate patim. Atharva 11.5.18. 11.5.18. Brahmacharyena kanya Ivanam vindate patim. Kanya, an young girl. Kanya, an young girl. Yuvanam pathim vindate. She finds her young life partner. She finds and gets an young life partner. And what's the prerequisite? Brahmacharyena Kanya. Brahmacharya. Kanya also, an young girl too, practices Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya is not the sole property of male folk. No. It's open for all, irrespective of caste, creed, race, and gender. No discrimination whatsoever. An young girl who has passed through this phase of Brahmacharya, she enters the Grihasthashrama by finding an young suitable partner. Brahmacharyena Kanya Yuvanam Vindate Patim. That's what we understand on the face of it. There are so many intricacies within it. Yes, we shall discuss about it in the coming classes. Thank you very much, all of you. Varun?